call this meeting to order. It is 6:08. Have we noticed this?
The meeting has been posted and noticed according to law.
Okay, it looks like all trustees are present. Our first item of business will be prioritization of the focus and goal of the meeting. And I believe that Lindsay will be giving that introduction.
Great. Good evening, everyone. Just to recap the focus and goal for today, this is the third meeting of us getting together with the focus being prioritization. When we met last week, there had been some efforts to look at the initiatives that were all submitted and proposed, and we looked at it through a lens, as you can see in the packet and what was published, in categorizing those into buckets of large initiatives, medium and small, and those are all documented accordingly in terms of how we looked at those. We also applied broader categories based on the discussion that took place on last Monday, looking at headings such as economic development, environmental restoration, finance. So we try to bucket those two just to align the initiatives to a broader area of focus. So the focus today is really looking at the items, the initiatives that are left, and not even left, but kind of bubbled to the top in terms of high priority. And looking at those through the lens of large, medium, small. But again, we can broaden that and look at that through other means. That was the focus between last week and this week. So the focus for the agenda is really having the trustees advocate for the initiatives that they've looked at as in each bucket, large, medium, small, the top two that they feel need to begin in 2019. That's not to say the others are not important and the others will not be done in 2019, but start to put some order to those that they feel definitely need to start in 2019. Again, the rest we will begin continuing to prioritize, but those that will begin first is sort of the focus. There will also be time for discussion within each of those buckets, so that's what our focus is today. And we'll continue determining how we can further prioritize the list after determining where consensus might exist. We also have time built in today, so we'll kind of move down the agenda for public comments. All of us felt, of course, very important to get comments from the public and residents on the initiatives present. So for the next 10 minutes, we have built in time for those in attendance, who are residents, to voice their feedback or comments on the initiatives or additional initiatives that maybe they didn't see, so that they can all be heard today. There were also a few emails, which you all have in front of you, so I'd encourage you to take a moment to read those. And if we do have time within this time slot, I will read those as well, just so others can hear. So with that, we're going to move forward with the public comments. Just to keep the agenda intact and to be conscious of the time and as efficient as we can, we'd ask that your comments remain to about 2 minutes, and then so that you certainly have enough time to be heard and you can hear your comments. And if feedback is warranted, we can build that in as well. So for those in attendance who are residents, if you have feedback, if we can just have you come to the microphone, feedback or comments. And again, just slotted 2 minutes per resident household.
I hate going first.
Well, someone's got to familiar. Please state your name and your address.
Sure. Barbara Kylie Miller, 4051 East Downer Avenue. I had comments on 2 items for the Plan Commission that are on the 2020 initiatives list. The first is to finalize decision on porches in the front yard setback. That's one of the items in yellow because it's in progress. And we've already had 3 discussions about this. And when Eric Lang had her last meeting as our planning director, I think she said it was left with the Residential Design Review Board to kind of give us their opinion. So rather than 2020, maybe we could get this done in 2018. So that's just something we've already, or at least, well, most of the commissioners who already discussed, they're still the Plan Commission. And the second item is right below that. It's the zoning map review. Zoning kind of is the foundation of every decision we make at the Plan Commission. And a couple meetings ago, Village Attorney Bader told us that there's something that's happening at the state level, either a law or some sort of dictate, that if a developer comes in and their proposal meets our zoning code, doesn't matter if every neighbor in that surrounding area does not want it. Doesn't matter if the majority of planning commissioners don't like it or the majority of the board does not like it. We kind of have to approve it. And this kind of came to mind when we were looking at a proposal that Erica had presented about Plan Commission having purview over discount stores that are 7,500 square feet and older for Capitol Drive. And the problem is that the east end of Capitol Drive is zoned the same as the west end. Even though west of Capitol, you've got 4 lanes of traffic, boulevard, 30 miles per hour speed limit. The east end, 2 lanes, 25 miles per hour. And as we get east of St. Roberts, you know, the building height gets a little lower. There's houses directly on Capitol. So that was a conflict for me and some others, that we're trying to zone anything that's gonna affect both halves of the street. So I know that the planning department has a lot on their plate, but this is an issue that's not gonna be resolved in a couple meetings or a couple months. So getting started sooner rather than later, I would hope we could do. So just ask you to take that under consideration.
Can I ask a follow-up question to that?
Sure.
How far along, maybe Bart or Barb as a planning commissioner, how far along are you on approaches and front yard setbacks?
Well, we've had 3 discussions. I think a lot of the staff work has already been done. I'm sure that Erica left everything that she had done. And she said that, I think Allison, you were, or President Rozak, you were on that board, the Residential Design Guidelines Board, that they were going to weigh in with their opinion. So we were just kind of waiting to hear back from them before we finalized a decision. Okay. Maybe Trustee Montgomery remembers.
That sounds right. We're pretty close.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of time.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Others, the residents, have comments or feedback?
I don't know.
Okay, sure, go ahead, I'll start it off. A name and address, is that right?
Yeah, Matt McGovern at 2502 Eastwood Place. And I just wanted to say a couple words in favor of the proposal to do solar energy on village buildings. And that was one that was recommended by the Conservation Committee. And actually, I love all the recommendations from the Conservation Committee. I love them all equally. But the one for the solar, there's a real urgency to doing it in 2019 for a couple reasons. One is, you know, these things cost some money up front and they pay off over time. So the sooner you do it, the better in paying off through, you know, saving the village's electric bills. So the sooner you start saving. And then also there's some tax credits that are available. Right now it's 30% tax credit, and that begins to drop in 2020 to 26%, and then gradually cuts down to 15%. So even though the village is not a taxable entity, there are ways that municipalities around the country have partnered with the private sector to take advantage of those tax credits. So there's an urgency in at least getting the project started in 2019. And then just in general, you know, solar is really popular in Shorewood. It's really popular everywhere across the political spectrum because it saves energy, it keeps the air cleaner, lets us create energy right here in Shorewood. So it's something that I know has a lot of support throughout Shorewood and throughout the community. And you can just picture the ribbon cutting you would do on a nice new solar project, maybe at the library or the police station. It's something I think the village would really get behind. So it would be my recommendation that the village do an RFP for projects on both the library and the police station just to start and see what kind of proposals come in terms of cost and payback time. And there's a number of installers out there, and you know, there's national companies that do it. Sometimes you get a better price from the local companies. So you know, that's really the only way to find out how much this could cost and how quickly it would pay back is to do an RFP and get some proposals out there. The city of Milwaukee, incidentally, has done something similar, which they just announced in April. They're taking proposals for much bigger scale projects than we would have here, but it would be for city buildings in Milwaukee. So there are a number of municipalities around the country and right here in the Milwaukee area, they're doing it. So I would just hope that Shorewood could get on that in 2019.
Question for Rebecca. Following up on that, instead of being a separate initiative, if it doesn't get chosen, can we still do that if the fire station, if we move forward in 2019? I mean, could it be wrapped in at least as the first project, as part of the RFP for construction?
It's something that we don't need to talk about with the fire board, because we're not, and not sure
Okay.
who would be,
Oh, you would go for,
right. But to Mr. McGovern's point, I have mentioned that to the architects for the fire building. Just because, you know, you don't get that opportunity all the time, and the roof lines that it has now may or may not be very conducive to that, but if they were designing, you know, a different type of structure, how could that look and what do you
Yeah. You work on the old one too, just so you know.
Okay, there you go.
Trustee Bumpers.
And thank you for bringing that to us. I'm also grateful for all the work the Conservation Committee has done. This is another fine example. I'm curious, and you might not have the answer to this in this instance, put you on the spot, but do you know if the Conservation Committee has been, if there are members on that committee who are familiar with RFP writing and grant writing as far as this is concerned?
Yeah, I'm familiar myself, and we've been talking about doing kind of like a subcommittee to come up with how that would work.
Great.
So that's something that we volunteer our time on this summer to get something more solid.
Yeah, because that helps with our decision-making here, knowing that there wouldn't necessarily need to be as many staff hours.
Right, yeah, no, we're definitely ready and willing to help out the staff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? No? Thank you, Mr. McGovern. I know you guys have some thoughts.
In the front row.
Okay.
Come to
Do you want to read in the public?
Sure,
comments?
I can read some of the public comments. There's 3 specifically that were emailed. You can build in time to read them at a high level for sure. And I know all the trustees have them in hand. So the first public comment was from Beth. I'm gonna try this last name, Giacobazzi. Pretty close. Giacobazzi. She's been a resident of Shorewood for 31 years. Their 3 children are born and raised in Shorewood. She says, my daughter, who's 23, is cognitively disabled. She was at Shorewood High School until she was 21. She was learning life skills and job training during the transition years of 18 through 21 years of age. She has been successfully working 30 hours a week at Metro Market for 2 years. Her next steps would be to move out on her own with some support. We would like her to stay in Shorewood, but there are very few housing options, if any, for people with disabilities. There's a group of parents in Shorewood that are trying to research different options as well, to have our adult children currently living at home. I spoke to Bart, here today, a couple of months ago, and he was both concerned about our lack of housing options, interested in getting it rectified. I had applied to be on the Human Relations Committee and thought we could go from there, but I was not chosen to be on the committee. I'm looking at the village visioning and prioritization and see nothing in there on housing for disabled. I'm thrilled that Shorewood is so conscious of providing wonderful programs they have for senior citizens. The disabled are getting completely overlooked. I realize this is not intentional, but rather because people are not aware of the problem. I wanted to write to you before your last meeting tomorrow night in case there would be a good time to bring this up. She couldn't make it today, she had a conflict, but would love to meet sometime to discuss the situation and possible solutions.
I have a comment. To address that, for the neighborhood loan initiative, the program to convert the duplex into a loan for aging in place, that really could be aging in place. And it's talking about like grab bars and things that make it easier to age in place, but you can certainly utilize that same program for housing to accommodate the disability. So we have a structured program, but that initiative, I think, would address some of the concerns she has here.
Yeah, likewise, we have a program, I'm not sure if it's still in existence, through the Senior Resource Center. That is it overlaps what you're saying. And I don't know if it was funded through the Benjamin funded, so I don't know about the funding restrictions on it, but it's also something, I know this is something.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Just send it to the hospital.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, it's good to know.
So the second is from Kathy Stokebrand. The village needs to make plans for improved safety and management at Atwater Beach and the park, a priority in the coming year. Due to the fatality last July, we continued heavy usage of the beach and the park. The first priority is to pursue a more defined and secure boundary for the north and south ends of the beach for increased public safety. The 3 jetties also pose a danger. They currently each have fences several yards out from the water's edge, but even these don't completely deter beachgoers. Hiring lifeguards, not as insignificant cost, is an important step. But as we know, the drowning last summer occurred between 5 and 6 p.m. The lifeguards are on duty from 11 to 4. And then she lists steps of conversations she's already had. After the beach is more safe and secure, other issues need to be addressed, such as how to keep the beach and park and neighborhood clean on busy beach weekends. We need more garbage cans and more garbage pickup. Could some portable toilets be moved to the beach so families don't have to come all the way back to the top with little ones who urgently need to use the bathroom? We also need to review pedestrian safety near the park. Most families have to park on the west side of Lake Drive, then try to cross that busy street wherever they park. Most do not walk to Capitol Drive to use the stop and go lights. Could push-button pedestrian crossings be added a block north and south of the beach to allow more pedestrians to cross safely in the summer, similar to those added on Oakland Avenue by Measure Market? So can we please add safety and hygiene to the list? She did see the priority item for the Atwater Beach and